Now we see about highway engineering unit for highway construction materials and practice. Highway construction materials and properties. Highway construction can be categorized by the large right of way having length of considerable amount. Due to this highway construction constitutes materials that are needed in large quantum. Depending upon the type of highway pavement, flexible or rigid, the material required for highway construction is decided. These items of major importance which are used in normal highway constructions are bituminous materials, soil, aggregates, Portland cement concrete, admixtures, pavement marking materials, and structural steel. First one is bituminous material. Bituminous materials of bitumen in the form of asphalt is one of the major highway construction materials used. Asphalt is normally a residue product from the distillation of crude oil, and the refined is heavy viscous material that is semi-solid at normal atmospheric temperatures. By controlled processing or blending, desired viscosity and hardness characteristics can be produced. This product is called as asphalt cement and is also known as paving grade or penetration grade asphalt. Bituminous materials of highway materials manual contains the test procedures, sampling requirements, and test equipments. Next one is soil. Major works of man since beginning time have depended on the use of soils. Not only does soil form the foundation or supporting surface for building bridges, roadways, and culverts, but it is the most common constituent from form of aggregates. Soil are the most basic abundant material in highway engineering, such as well characterized by expression common as grit. The steps taken to prepare foundations, manipulate and transport soils, and prepare them for use of aggregates account for well over 70% of the total cost of construction for normal highway project. Next one is aggregates. The surface, base, and subbase of pavements consist of aggregates or a mixture of aggregates with cement and water or bituminous material. The strength properties of a layer are a function of both quality and the proportion of ingredients. Aggregates are hard, durable mineral materials obtained by mining or quarrying operations of deposits of sand, gravel, tallers, or ledges, and may be defined as granular material of mineral composition. Next one is Portland cement concrete. Portland cement concrete is a mixture of Portland cement, water, air, sand, gravel, or crushed stone. It is formed when the cement and water paste combine chemically and binds the entire mixture into a rock like a mass. It may be thought as two component material, paste and aggregate. Paste is comprised of cement, water, and entrained air. The aggregate portion is generally composed of sand and gravel and comprises 70 to 80% of the volume of the concrete. Aggregates, both fine and coarse, should be selected for the entire quality, strength, durability, and resistance to the environmental effects. Next one is admixtures. Number of additives developed to improve various characteristics of concrete in both plastic and hardened states. Other additives gaining in usage are known as water reducing admixtures and set retarding admixtures. Water reducing additive is intended to impart more workability into a plastic concrete with less water, thereby increasing its strength through a reduced water cement ratio. Set retarding additive is intended to slow setting characteristics of the mix and thereby allowing more time for placing and finishing. Next one is pavement marking materials. Pavement marking materials have important functions to provide guidance and information to drivers. Pavement marking convey important information to drivers without diverting their attention from the road. In some cases, they supplement regulations or warnings given by other devices. In other cases, they are used alone and produce results that cannot be obtained by any other devices. Many materials can be used for pavement marking. The choice depends on cost, durability, reflectivity, pavement surface, and drying time. These pavement markings are paint, thermoplastic, and epoxies. Paint. Water-based paint applied either cold or hot in most commonly used pavement marking. It is low cost with short drying time, but its visibility on wet nights is just moderate. Thermoplastic. The pavement marking material are made thermoplastic heated to about 400 degree Fahrenheit and spread onto the pavement surface. Next one is epoxy. Also applied the liquid with special equipment. Epoxy has good visibility and reflectivity. The cost is moderate. Marking remains 3 to 4 years. Next one is testing methods on highway material. These are the various testing materials on highways. Now let's see about CBR test for subgrade, California bearing ratio. The California bearing ratio is the penetration test for evaluation of the mechanical strength of natural ground, subgrades and base courses beneath the carriageway construction. Subgrade soil is the integral part of road pavement structure which provides support to the pavement. The subgrade and its different properties are very much important to the pavement design structure. The major function of the subgrade is provided to the support to the pavement against traffic loading, and for this subgrade should possess sufficient stability under adverse climate and heavy loading conditions. The strength of soil subgrade can be determined by using a test is known as California bearing ratio test, which was developed in California in the year of 1930s, and its way determined the standard soil properties such as density. Next one is subgrade performance. A subgrade characteristics mainly depends on the following three factors such as load bearing capacity, moisture content, swelling or shrinkage. Load bearing capacity. The subgrade resists load which are transmitted from the pavement structure. Various factors such as degree of compaction, moisture content, and the nature of soil affect the load bearing capacity of soil. A subgrade without excessive deformation sustain heavy loading considered good. Moisture content. The properties such as load bearing capacity, shrinkage, and swelling, etc., are mostly affected by the variation of moisture content or pavement porosity, etc. Influence the moisture content, highly wet subgrades deform more under loadings. Next one is shrinkage or swelling. Shrinkage or swelling mainly depends on moisture content. Additionally, in the frost condition, soils with excessive fine content may be susceptible to frost heave. Shrinkage, swelling, and frost heave are factors whose tendency is to deform the crack any pavement structure constructed over them. Next one is the desirable properties of subgrade soil highway materials are withstand capability like stability, easy compaction, strength, permanency, low change in volume during adverse condition of weather and groundwater table, superior drainage incompressibility. This is the pictorial representation of California bearing ratio. How the test will be conducted, we already done in laboratory. Next one is test on aggregates. Aggregate plays an important role in pavement construction. Aggregate influence to great extent the load transfer capability of pavement. Following tests are carried out: crushing test, abrasion, impact, soundness, specific gravity and water absorption test, bituminous adhesion test. First one is crushing test. Crushing test is useful to determine the crushing strength of aggregates. The aggregate crushing value provides a relative measures of resistance to crushing gradually applied crushing load. This is the test procedure for crushing. This is the gradually applying method. This also we done in laboratory. Next one is abrasion test. Abrasion test is carried out test the hardness properties of aggregate due to the decide whether they are suitable for different pavement construction work. Los Angeles abrasion test is a preferred one for carrying out the hardness property has been standardized in India. This is the Los Angeles abrasion testing machine cross-sectional view and the pictorial representation. The aggregate approximately 5 kg force aggregate will be taken. It will be revolved about 500 rotations and we calculate the wear and tear of the aggregates. Next one is impact testing machine. The aggregate impact test is carried out to evaluate the resistance to impact of aggregates. Aggregate passing 12.51 C and retained on 10 mm C is filled in a cylindrical steel cup of internal dia 10 mm and depth 5 cm which is attached to metal base of impact testing machine. This also we done in laboratory. Then will be calculate passing and retained of 2.36 mm C. The weight will be taken. The percentage not exceeded 35% for impact. The impact is a sudden loading. This is the impact testing. picture. Next one is soundness test. Soundness test is intended to study the resistance of aggregate to weathering action by conducting accelerated weathering test cycles. The porous aggregate subjected to freezing and thawing is likely to disintegrate prematurely. To ascertain the durability of such aggregates, they are suitable to an accelerated soundness test. As aggregates of precipitate size subjected to cycles of alternative wetting in saturated solution of either sodium sulfate or magnesium sulfate for 16 to 18 hours, and they dried oven 105 to 110 degree centigrade constant weight. After 5 cycles, the loss in weight aggregate is determined by the sieving out all undesired particles and weighing. The loss in weight should not exceed 12% when tested with sodium sulfate, 18% with magnesium sulfate solution. This is the for soundness test. As the testing chamber is structured with 3 vertical layers can be placed in any location: upper drying room, middle thermostatic chamber, lower thermostatic immersing chamber. This is the equipment for soundness test. This is also operation procedure: automatic cycle, 1 cycle up to 24 hours. Next one is specific gravity and water absorption. This is also already done in laboratory. The specific gravity of and water absorption of aggregates are important properties that are required for design of concrete and bituminous mixtures. The specific gravity of solid is the ratio of its mass to that an equal volume of distilled water at a specified temperature. Next one is water absorption. The difference between the apparent and the bulk specific gravities is nothing but the water permeable voids of the aggregates. We can measure the volume of such voids by weighing the aggregates dry and saturated surface dry condition. With all permeable voids filled with water, difference of the above two is MW. MW is the weight of dry aggregate minus the weight of aggregate with saturated surface dry condition. This is the formula of water absorption: MW divided by MD. MW is the wet, MD is the dry. We can get the water absorption percentage. Next one is bitumen adhesion test. Bitumen adheres well to all normal types of road aggregates provided they are dry and free from dust. In the absence of water, there is practically no adhesion problem of bituminous construction. Adhesion problem occurs when the aggregate is wet and cold. This problem can be dealt with by removing moisture from the aggregate by drying and increasing the mixing temperature. Further, the presence of water causes stripping of binder from the coated aggregates. This problem occurs when the bitumen mixture is permeable to water. Several laboratory tests are conducted to arbitrarily determine the addition of bitumen binder to aggregate in the presence of water. Static immersion test is specified by IRC and is quite simple. The principle of the test is by immersing aggregate fully coated with binder in the water maintained at 40 degree centigrade temperature for 24 hours.